both of these teams took a victory. So they are the favorites for the title right now. Question is, who will win this time? Let's get the hype started. Will Hellfire missiles get another victory? Or will the fleet that we have not seen yet by Daniel and Blacklight be better prepared for this? Dukin and Herzog this time in blue. Or Daniel and Blacklight in orange. Who will take the victory? Who will take the victory? You can do predictions now with some channel points, if you have some to spare, whilst we go into round number 2 in this epic battle. GLHF is called. And what we got here is another battleship fleet. Ooh. Are they prepared for Hellfires is the question. Are they prepared for Hellfires? As Carnage Incarnated and Southern Fortress are coming in. Where are the other ships? We have a scout with missiles and a radar. We have the Poor Care, which is another missile ship with a jammer? No, with another radar. And another radar missile ship. So 3 light support ships for these beam and cannon battleships versus the heavy missile ship fleet that we saw on the other side. D is already getting captured as Pillars has close to spawn points, so the tick will go faster, so the battles can't last as long as on the other map. Pillar overall a pretty nice map. Really well designed, I would say. As they're asymmetrical, so I guess one side is a bit favored than the other. But overall, I felt like you can easily win on both sides. Obviously, balance in this game is not perfect, but still, most of the time the victory is decided by good ship design and by good action on the battlefield. Realizing what you're up against, how your formation can beat the other formation, what your advantages are, what your disadvantages are. Like for example now, you might be able to hit the enemy with railguns from a range where the missiles might not be as effective. But the question is, what do you do here once missiles start flying towards you? You have the jammer, so that could help us. Good jammer here. No riposts, it seems like. No chefs either. The Poor Care me. And the Poor Care is flying around. The Get Railed is staying together with the Now You See Me. But if it takes a direct firefight, the Get Railed will not stand a chance in this one. So this should be hella interesting. So who do you think will win? Prediction is still up. Whilst we get into this game number 2. The first Thunderheads are on the way towards the battleships. So far, Doesn't seem like there's a reaction. The southern fortress is moving closer. Will it activate a jammer? Actually, not quite sure if Thunderheads are affected by a jammer. Like this. Point defenses coming in. Thunderheads not hitting the target. Flying just by. One is now going for it, but gets shut down before it hits. B point is captured, E point is captured, C and D as well. So it's all about Alpha. And these ships will not stop firing. The Damalon and the Felhammer with the next salvo of a hell of a lot of Thunderheads. This is an epic battle. And my coffee is ready, so I'm back in a second. Oh no, I will get the coffee after this salvo, I guess. As a chef decoy is going out. No chef decoy on this side. So there's some... What's happening? Where is it exploding? Isn't it supposed to explode? Okay, this is weird. No jamming going on either. Okay, next. Missile swarm coming in. But the Get Railed is opening fire onto the Carnage Incarnate. And is hitting it well. And the next Thunderhead Swarm is coming in, and this will not stop coming. Really. This seems to be the plan of action here. Thunderhead Swarm after Thunderhead Swarm. Decoy is out now though. And it seems to work on at least quite a couple. One hit is coming in though. The question is, how much damage can these ships take? And flying in though to counter it. And the Carnage Incarnate might want to get out of range there. Where's the other battleship? Where's the Southern Fortress? Southern Fortress is moving up. Trying to get an angle, I guess, with its railguns onto target. Riposts and decoys going up over here. The scout is now getting hit. It's flying a bit too close. Thunderhead's on the way for it as well. Might be a bit overkill, but better safe than sorry. And the scout has a problem. It tried to go for C-spot, but got detected by the deep clone. It is using some chefs, but I'm pretty sure that will not be enough to get rid of all. Railguns now hitting onto the light cruiser over here though. Which tries to get the hell out of there. Whilst over here, a couple of hits are coming in. More decoys coming in, but the ship is even behind the decoys, so even with decoys wouldn't work out. And with this many Thunderhead hits and some heavy cruiser guns aimed on it, I'm pretty sure this one is about to evacuate. Yeah, lifeboats should go out in a second as the crew is abandoning ship. So first ship down. Down here, the diced woe is going for Alpha. It would put the pressure onto the blue team. Three RD Scout is down. No Thunderheads flying right now. So that's the perfect time for me to grab the coffee. Back in a second. And here we go. More Thunderheads on the way. Going again for the Carnage Incarnate. Railgun shots going for the heavy cruiser. But they are missing. All of them missed their targets. But more of them flying in. Ooh, it's close. Oh wow. One hits. It will take quite a while though before these show major impact. Meanwhile, the Thunderheads keep on coming. Chefs are out though, and they work quite well, allowing the other side's point defense to take care of the Thunderheads, but they're just flying on anyways. Not coming back here. And more on the way. Carnage Incarnate now opening fire onto the Fellhammer. Not really hitting though, as they're hitting the rocks right now. Thunderheads over here going for the Southern Fortress, which did pop out some decoys as well. Meanwhile, Carnage Incarnate under the next salvo of Thunderheads. Can it get rid of them? Decoy is out. Takes care of some of them, but it will get hit here. 1 or 2 hits. Another one coming straight for it. Missing though. And this one was shut down as well, I think. Might have hit the engine, but I don't think so. So far doing way better than the Condu Henri, but not so much for the small ships. The poor care gets eliminated. Meanwhile, Alpha will get taken care of. So Alpha is in the hand of the orange team, now having 3 points ticking for it, but also being down to only 3 ships. 2 of their 3 spotting ships have been taken care of. Meanwhile, on the other side, all ships still functional, but they might run out of missiles at some point. And if the heavy cruisers has to beat the battleship with its gun, it will be in a bit of a pickle. Because there's quite a bit more guns on these battleships. As you can see, this one brings around 11 barrels against 7. An advantage of 4 there, and also obviously more hit points. So having more damage output and also being able to tank more damage makes that quite tough. So Southern Fortress is getting quite close here. Not sure if that's the right action, as it opens fire on the Gundar, the smallest ship of the enemy fleet, getting over-penetrated by railguns. Not the most effective weapons against ships like these. As you can see, the shots fly right through. 2 of them stay in though, so that's quite good. That deals a lot of damage. Yeah, you don't want to stay in in railgun fire with a ship like this. Trying to get the hell out of there now, as the Get Railed is opening fire again. 1 Thunderhead flying by over here. Plus the Southern Fortress is retreating again. And yeah, Orange team doesn't need to push any deeper. They only need to hold A and the 2 points they already have, and they will win the game in the long run. So all they need to do is survive the incoming fire and try to shoot at any target that gives them the opportunity. Up top, the Deep Clone got detected by the Carnage Incarnate and is under heavy fire. Will most likely not get hit by this salvo though, as it is a pretty small ship and it is a pretty fast ship. And on this range, I'm pretty sure there's no lock-on in it. Yeah, so these shots are pretty inaccurate. But at some point, 11 guns should be able to at least Get some hits out, so you want to get out of range there. That's what it's doing right now. Maybe want to go for B point here. Sneaking around the top, capturing a point would be helpful. And would put the pressure again onto the orange team. As they get railed, we'll have a tough fight here. We'll have a tough fight. Southern Fortress is coming around. Question is, does it spot the enemy? Squall's going out. Interesting. Squall's flying towards the enemy now. And the railgun is firing as well. And it hits quite well here. Thunderheads coming out from the other side. But only 4 Squall missiles. Don't think these have a good chance of coming through. As ripostes are activated. But at least they overkill with the ripostes. Both ships firing ripostes is more of an investment in ripostes than needed. I would say there was no need for ripostes at all. Pretty sure the point defense would have been able to deal with 4 missiles anyway. So getting 8 ripostes out for 4 Squalls is a worthwhile trade. That's 4 points versus 8 points. Plus some point defense fire as well. Whilst over here, another Thunderhead salvo goes out. Carnage Incarnate is trying to hit the Gundar. We're just trying to go to E point here, it seems like. Trying to sneak around. The Dazed Woe should try to disengage here as it doesn't have much point defense, if at all any. It doesn't have any at all, so you don't want to get this one hit by Thunderheads, and you want to have small ships around. Otherwise you will not be able to retake points that easily. Having to move into points with your battleships is not what you want to do. And the Southern Fortress is in trouble here. As 1 Thunderhead hits, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4 hit, 5. As the point defense was caught off guard there. And the chefs come out too late. So 5 hits there with some Thunderheads. And that's some serious damage that will have to be controlled. Well, it's 3 points versus 2 points continue. We are at 400 points. Time limit will not be of an issue here, I would say. Whilst the Southern Fortress is trying to find a target. Doesn't seem to have an eye onto the get railed. As if it would have, it would be able to shoot at it right now. But yeah, needs to be careful to not be caught off guard with its point defense once more. Squall's going out again. It's under fire by the heavy cruiser. Whilst the Dazed Woe is trying to go up for C. The Deep Clone is around here still. The Southern Fortress this time firing quite a lot of Squalls. Whilst the Carnage Incarnate has the capability of shooting out the get railed as well. The get railed has to be careful. Ripostes are going out. Point defense as well. But again, overkill with the ripostes. As you can see, these aimed for some that already gotten taken out by these ripostes. So still an effective maneuver here by the Squalls. As both missiles cost exactly the same. Both cost 2 points. So if you take out 2 ripostes with 1 Squall, that's effective. The question is, can they profit from it at some point? Obviously, doesn't matter if you don't have any other missiles that can later on abuse this fact that all the ripostes are gone. But so far it doesn't look... And I guess the only one that has missiles that could abuse that is the immense damage usually, unless it's a lucky hit. Decoys are going out. Let's try to go up. whilst keeping its point defense on target. More and more decoy shafts going out, allowing it for dodging most of these shots, as some of the point defenses seem to be out of action. And yeah, quite a lot of shafts going out here. Question is, who will run out first? One side out of Thunderheads or one side out of shafts? As these Thunderheads hit the rock. RS106, thanks for the follow. Gunfire goes out. And thanks for the Twitch Prime. Wow. Much appreciated. As the Get Railed is under fire here. Carnage and Carnage will win this gunfight if it stays this way. And this looks really good for the orange team here. With their 2 battleships. Showing us that the battleship meta isn't over, even with the nerf that they got today. And that nerf was more than warranted. Even though in the first game we saw some battleships die. But these here seem to be doing just fine. Ooh, and these railgun hits are good. And this is, yeah, the Get Railed needs to get the hell out of here. Getting shot up by 2 battleships. One with railguns, one with heavy guns. With normal explosive warheads. Is not something you want to have happen to you. Ooh. Then now you see me also now under fire. And the light cruiser doesn't like to be hit. Railgun hits without dying. Heavy cruisers not so much, because against these they don't overpenetrate, so it's the perfect split up of targeting here. The big guns firing onto the conventional guns firing onto light cruisers, and the railgun firing onto the heavy cruiser, which makes it even harder here for the blue side, who needs a win. They now move around the deep clone into B, which is really important. The AED Gundar trying to go for E. And another Thunderhead salvo is coming out of the Damalon. Well, it's over here. Ooh, another ship gets hit. The Fellhammer is getting hit by some railgun hits. It seems like it might be out of missiles. Or at least the missile launchers might be heavily damaged. The one on the top and the one on the bottom are dead. These ones still seem to be fine, but maybe it lost... Maybe it's out of missiles. Maybe it lost one of its missile depots. Beam still seems to be active, and I guess that was what it tried to do here, getting into beam range. But the sensors on the battleship still seem to be fine. And the deep clone is under heavy fire now as well. But at the meantime, I think we saw some more hits over here. Yeah, a couple more hits on the deep incarnate. Whilst the deep clone is Carnage incarnate is getting hit hard here now. Heavy cruiser getting some shots off as well. Firing back onto the heavy cruiser, but it got hit by some more missiles. And that's actually quite a lot of hits here, as it seems like. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess these are gun hits though, so only 3 or 4 missiles, but by now this might add up. This might add up. So overall, the Thunderhead hits came over a long period of time, so the damage control teams might have been able to get most systems into working state. Not too many systems seem to be failing. They still seem to be able to use some countermeasures, still able to use all the guns, and also able to spot the enemy. Maybe relying onto the other formation though. And they found the Gundar, and this is not good for the Gundar. You won't want to be on this. Yeah, Gundar already going down. Didn't take much fire there to take it out. And this is bad for the blue team, because if they would get 4 points now, then they would really make the enemy run. With only 3 points captured, all it takes is the southern fortress going to be where the deep clone can't defend the point at all, and the other ships can't help out. A still has the Deist, which still has some missiles, so any ship coming in close there might be up for a nasty surprise. And the Carnage Incarnate now can control the space between D and E, and can stop any of the destroyers trying to get in there. And on their own, these destroyers also don't stand a chance of eliminating the Carnage Incarnate. Lloyd, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's only 3 rounds. I had it ready for 4 rounds if we would have gotten more than 8 teams, but as we have less than 8, like we are not 9 teams or more, it will be only 3 rounds. Green. Missile shots hit the get railed. It's under heavy fire here. Damage really coming in here. Southern Fortress is getting hit. Deep Clone gets eliminated. Railguns get their job done there. And now it only needs to fly into B. And retake it. And the Battleship formation here seems to get the victory. Even though they took some losses quite early on. The Battleship micro was really, really good. The Chaff micro always on point. Sensors seem to be just excellent. They also seem to be able to spot the enemy even without the help of the rest of their formation. And now they're able to put some heavy damage onto the enemy heavy cruiser and light cruiser here. The destroyer Fellhammer also took quite some damage already, as you can see. Tries now to come around for some beaming action, it seems like. But it looks like it's out of Thunderheads as well. Carnage Incarnate might get hit by this beam destroyer. Question is, can they come around in a time before the Southern Fortress is back into a good position from B? And before the get railed is in a position where it can't get rescued. Because if they can take out one heavy battleship, they might be able to then later on also get the other one. But it doesn't seem to be, they don't seem to be fast enough to get the jump onto the Carnage Incarnate whilst the Southern Fortress was occupied at B. And Get Railed is now getting absolutely pummeled by both battleships. And the heavy cruiser can take a bit of damage, but this seems like it will take this one out of commission quite soon. Some shots also now going for the light cruiser over here. It's trying to get closer and closer. Does it have torpedoes is the question. Doesn't seem to be. Maybe some good torpedo hits now could turn it around. But no, it's just... I mean, some close missile hits also could do some damage here. But now the railguns and the all 11 guns of the Carnage Incarnate are opening fire. And a light cruiser doesn't enjoy that at all. Especially as it gets hit from an angle where the railguns also don't overpenetrate all the time. So they will do quite a bit of damage now as well. And yeah, the Now You See Me is as good as that on this position. Hellhammer now coming around to try to open up with its beam. But it just feels like it is too late here. The Get Railed is trying to get closer. But guns seem to be out of commission. Southern turret for sure. The upper turrets still seem to be active, but they are not firing anymore. There's no red glow around the barrel. We haven't seen any shots coming out, so maybe the magazine got hit or something else, but this one for sure seems to be inactive as well. Fellhammer now trying to come in, but good reaction by the Carnage Incarnate on this one as well. Turning its turrets around just in time for the Fellhammer to get completely pummeled as well. And blue team seems to be on the losing side in this engagement. What a battle. Railguns opening fire onto the Fellhammer. Doing their best to get the victory here. Whilst the Damalion is coming around over here. Trying to go for the Carnage Incarnate from the other side. But yeah, it's a single, already slightly damaged destroyer now versus 2 battleships that still seem pretty functional. To get railed, at least got the frontal turret active again. The frontal upper turret. And tries to do some damage. But it's one turret versus, well, I guess only 2. As these 2 turrets seem to be damaged now. But the Now You See Me is out of commission now. Still getting fired upon here. Turret should switch focus once more. The Fellhammer is killed off. And the Damalion might not get a shot off either, as it already gets hit by the railguns. Ooh, gets a beam off now. Hits one of the already destroyed turrets. If it would hit here, that would be really good. With only the bottom turret, you could maybe maneuver around it. But points already are getting closer to the end of the game as well. So blue team actually would need to capture 2 points now, I would say, to change the outcome of the game. And with only 2 active ships, that doesn't seem likely, especially as one of them is just getting completely annihilated by the Southern Fortress and its railguns, which are really on target now. Yeah, this doesn't seem too healthy. But it looks absolutely epic. Not gonna lie, railgun shots are one of the most epic things in this game. Yeah, the Damalion is dead in the water as well, so all that's left now is the get railed. And even the Carnage Incarnate still seems to have some fight in it. And in a 1v1 versus the Southern Fortress that still is in tip-top shape. Got a couple of Thunderhead hits, but not too many. It would most likely lose. And maybe it was the wrong focus when they tried to focus down the Carnage Incarnate. Maybe the beam destroyers plus the heavy cruiser could have been able to take it out afterwards. But it's really it seemed to be a tough matchup here for the blue team. And really good anti-missile defenses on the side of the orange team. Getting the chefs out always in time, so that only a couple of Thunderheads actually went for the battleships themselves. And most of them also got killed off by point defenses. Not all. They got some damage in. But Thunderheads are expensive missiles, so taking a couple of hits of them on a battleship is not too bad. And now even the Carnage Incarnate might win the battle, as it has its rear turret active as well. So it has 8 guns versus 2 guns. And onto a battleship, onto a battlecruiser that is already pretty damaged. Well, it got its rear turret active as well, but yeah, here we go. Out of commission now as well. GG, VP. 2 Blacklight. And Daniel taking another victory. A Dukin and Herzog here are getting killed up, are getting beaten We have a fleet that looks really good. The Damelon and the Valhammer. This time though, not dealing quite as much damage. Still 10,000 damage on one of them, as they killed off the other ships of the opponent. But maybe the couple of Thunderheads that they fired upon these ships were the ones missing for the other ones. As their get railed still dealt 12,000 damage, so it didn't come deal really badly, but it was just not quite enough. Whilst on the other side, 16,000 damage taken by the Carnage Incarnate, which looked quite messed up, as you can see here. Whilst the Southern ship, the Southern Fortress, did only take 4,600 damage. Bridge area got taken out, but the quite one-sided. I missed that the Dazed Woe did shot its missiles. I missed that one completely. But yeah, they were able to get through the Thunderhead salvos each time. And we're able to take out the heavy cruiser. But it's not losing too many points. The kill on the Deep Clone was really important there, I would say, towards the end. The Gundar and the Deep Clone being taken out before they were able to capture the point in get overwhelmed by the enemy firepower after having to split up. So really good game here.